Costumes. Many people think about Halloween when they hear this word. They would be right in assuming that Halloween is the only event you wear costumes, but costumes surround us every day. The clothes you're wearing right now would be your costumes if you were in a show or a play. If you ever watch a TV show or a movie, or even just watch a commercial, every person in that video is wearing a costume. Costuming has been a passion of mine for about 2 or 3 years, and I have costumed about 10 shows in that time. Costuming is so much more than just Halloween, because without it, everyone in the movies on stage would be naked. It can be a very fun hobby and career, and is influenced by many different designers around the world. As stated before, all of the actors you see on screen and stage would be naked if it wasn't for costuming. Ruthie Carter accepts the Oscar for costuming design. In an article from the LA Times, the Academy recognizes the costume designer because it has such an impact on films and even shows. She states that her career is built with passion to tell stories that allow us to know ourselves better. Costumes can tell stories by the progression of passion and emotion through colors. A good example of that is the Cinderella 2015 movie. Let me get my presentation up. So, as you can see, in the first outfit, this is Lady Tremaine. She's the stepmother, and her husband has just recently passed away. She's seen almost all completely covered in black, except some hints of yellow to show that she has hope for her new future and her new position for her next husband. Her second outfit, she's almost in complete black because of the death of her second husband. She doesn't have a lot of hope for the future at this moment, but she has some sparks of green in her outfit just because... Do you need your glasses to see, sir?
No.
Okay. But she has some sparks of green in it because she's starting to become jealous of Cinderella because she is so kind about the situation she's in right now. Her third outfit is the one that she wears to the ball. Excuse me. She is starting to become even more jealous of Cinderella because she's getting with the prince, and her daughters need to get with the prince because she needs to have more money in her family. So the yellow also shows she has a faint yellow in her gloves and her hat because she also has hope because her daughters are at the ball and she doesn't know if one of them might spark a relationship with the prince. Her fourth and final outfit is the darkest of all green because she's extremely jealous and Cinderella is leaving her because she is going on to rule the kingdom. I have costumed many shows in my days of theater, and I have learned a lot throughout this process. There's a distinct process that comes with costuming a show, and it looks a little bit like this. So first of all, you have to create designs to sell to the director of the show to even be chosen as the costume designer because they have to like what they see in order to hire you. Second of all, you celebrate because you get the costuming job. Third, you measure people. Fourth, you start to order pieces you want for people. Now, Amazon and other vintage companies are really great to order from because most shows aren't in current time periods. So let's say you have a show placed in the 1940s and you can't find any dresses anywhere. You would go online to see if you can buy them. Sometimes your budget isn't all that big, so if you can't buy it, you find it. A lot of theaters in the community are very cooperative with letting people borrow costumes for their shows. If you can't buy it or find it, you make it. I've made a bunch of skirts and shorts with my assistant in the past just because we can't find any of it in the outside world. Seventh is a costume parade. You want to have a costume parade just because you don't know if something's missing for a scene, and if it is, you can fix it in time until the show comes. Eighth is watch the show. It's really interesting to see how the costumes transform on stage with the lights and the set because sometimes it goes ways you hadn't planned it on going and you can change things before the show opens. Ninth, the show opens, but 10th is you have to fix costumes during runs of the shows. Now, a lot of actors aren't so careful with their costumes, and a lot of the costumes are usually very old and borrowed from different theaters and have been worn many times. For example, I had an actor rip their pants during one of our shows and we had to fix it with safety pins and then later on sew it. Dee Dee states that it was just something you do for fun and she enjoyed it. In a stage directions interview, Dee Dee states that she never planned on costuming, but they needed a costume designer and she fell in love with it. This is a lot similar to my story. I never planned on it and I was just cast in a show and they decided that I could be the assistant costume designer. I fell in love with it and I have costumed many shows since then. I've been inspired by many designers, but the one that stands out the most is William Ivey Long. I first discovered him by watching a video of the Cinderella Quick Change on Broadway. My mind was blown. If you can see in this video, let me make it full. Okay. Here is her quick change.
Wow.
I know.
That is so cool.
This costume change really inspired me because it wasn't only incredible because it's so cool, but the color transformation was very cool. Cinderella is a very down-to-earth character, and the way that Ivy created her colors were earth colors. So there was a dark red and a dark green to make her down-to-earth personality come to life. And when she transforms into her ball gown, she goes to white, representing the innocence of her age as a character. Costuming can tell the story of a movie just with colors and the way that the fabric drapes. That's what makes it such a unique art. Being able to create a personality with just fabric is truly an amazing thing. As we have seen today, costuming is so much more than just Halloween, because without it, everyone in movies and on stage would not have any clothes. And it could be a very fun hobby and career. It can also be influenced by many different designers around the world. So next time you see a show or movie, try to recognize why that character is wearing that costume. You may be surprised what you discover. Thank you.